They have to get rid of the government in Britain. This is why they come to replace Britain, to replace the people. It can take 100 years. They have patience. In the Quran, there is a verse which says, "In Allah ma'al sabirin." Allah is with those who have patience, and they have patience a lot. So they migrate little by little, and according to what is being possible in Britain or in France, in other European countries, and they already see how Europe is actually dying, and they are striving. So this is what we see today in Europe, and they came to establish their Islamic states in Europe. You can see it in neighborhoods like East London. You can see it in Paris, in Saint-Denis, in Barbès. You can see it in Molenbeek, in Brussels. You can see it in Marseille. You can see it in Lyon. You can see it in Rotterdam.
Do you see this as a deliberate conspiracy, or is it a sort of cultural tendency that's done unconsciously?
Definitely consciously. Once they exceed a certain percentage, they start demanding all kinds of things. Halal food in the supermarket. Then they demand not to have pork in the supermarket because they don't want to see, they don't want to smell it. Then they don't want alcoholic beverages in supermarkets. Then they demand to shut down the bells of churches.
Where are these policies that you're seeing them banning of pig meat at supermarkets?
Once they exceed, let's say, 51% of a place, now they have the majority. And you can see it in local behavior of municipalities or townships in Britain. You can see it in France. Another thing which they are very much against are churches. They hate churches because churches are more pretty than the mosques in many cases, and the churches have bells. They hate churches. This is why they set fire in churches. I suspect that even the Notre Dame was arson deliberately. I have no idea if it's correct or not, but this is what my feeling. I have a feeling that it was not by chance, started to burn by itself. This is what I feel. And look, they open madrasas everywhere, they open mosques everywhere, because they came to Europe in order to become, to bring the Islamic world to Europe. They didn't come to work temporarily and go back to their countries.
So is this what you would call jihad?
Jihad has many facets. Yes, it is a migration jihad. Jihad is a concept, by the way, literally, jihad means effort. Effort which the Islamic community makes in order to make the word of Allah superior and the word of the infidels inferior. This is the jihad. It could be the what called the jihad safe, means jihad by sword, means weapons. The belligerent jihad. It could be jihad by migration. It could jihad by birth rate. It's also kind of jihad. Jihad da'wah means to call people to come to Islam nicely. It's also kind of jihad. Media jihad, like Al Jazeera, which spreads Islamism all over the world, and havoc and terrorism, like what they do. So this is also a media jihad. Open WhatsApp group which will promote the jihad is another kind of jihad. There are arson jihad in order to destroy the infidels and build the Islamic state on the ruins of the Christians. And of course, they also have the prayer jihad. If you cannot do economic jihad like boycotting the West or boycotting Israel, BDS, all these things, if you cannot go to fight with the sword, if you cannot set fire in a church, if you can do anything, whatever you do, you pray for the success of jihadists, whether in Palestine, whether in Iraq, or wherever they are. Pray for them. This is also part of the jihad.
So in a moment, I'll ask you about personal internal jihad, which we sometimes hear of, maybe a struggle not to assimilate with Western societies that you're part of. But I do want to jump in at this point and just ask, are you suggesting then that all Muslims in Europe, Britain, America, all immigrants have this effectively conspiracy of jihad?
Not at all. Not at all. There are many migrants from the Islamic world who, once they come to Europe, they become Europeans. They merge into the European societies and they become Europeans. For example, they would eat whatever falls on their plate. They will drink whatever is being poured into the glass. And they became European in everything, in their culture, in their food, in their clothing, in their behavior. And they have nothing against Europe. They don't come, they come to become Europeans. Nobody should have any problem with these people. They are good people because they came to be Europeans. Look, there is a good example to this. A lady, a Muslim lady in France. Her name is Rashida Dati. She was from a Moroccan family, a Muslim Moroccan family. She was born in France, and she was excellent in school. She got stipends from the government to study in high education, and she studied law, and she became a very famous lawyer in France, and everybody loved her because she was a bright lawyer, an honest lawyer, and Sarkozy, more than 20 years ago, nominated her to be the Minister of Justice. Everybody blessed this nomination because she was professional. But she was not married. She was in mid-30s of her age. And one day, everybody sees that the lady is pregnant. And she's not married. Now, according to Islam, this adultery. And her verdict is well known. But in France, you don't look at these parts of the body. All you look is the face, that's all. All the other parts is not your business in France. You can do with your body whatever you like, with whoever you like, whenever you like, and it's nobody's business. So the Islamic community started to discuss this issue. Is she a Muslim and therefore should be punished for being pregnant without marriage? Or she's French. And as a French, that's all. You cannot talk about anything else because it's not of your business. So how to relate to this lady? As a Muslim, because she was born a Muslim, or as a French, because she's acting like a French. Okay, so this shows you that there are people who definitely become French or British or whatever, and nobody should have any problem with them because they are integrated fully into the European society. The problems are with those who are not integrated, who preserve their culture, continue their tradition, continue their mindset, continue view the West as infidel, something which should be abolished, because, as you said, to end the occupation, it's also occupation of France, because Christians are infidels. They don't have the right to rule. They don't have the right to a state. They should all live as dhimmis under the rule of Islam. You can read the book of Bat Yaor, Islam and Dhimmitude. Christians and Jews should live under the yoke of Islam and pay the jizya to the Muslims. And this is what should be in France and every other place. In Europe, the Europeans should be subjugated to Islam. Why? Because this is how the world should go, according to the Muslim Brotherhood ideas. Now, the Muslim Brotherhood is a very large array of ideas about how fast do we want to implement all these things. Means how radical we are or we should be in order to implement all these ideas of Islam. If you are silent, if you are, let's say, slow, it can take 100 years. You are moderate. But you dream about this, you don't do much in order to hasten this process. But if you want it now, Islamism now, you become more radical because you have to implement these ideas by force. And here, people